So this is my 2023 year-end review for my records, and this year was an expensive year. You know, paying mortgage and a rent for while the house was being built, and paying like $3,000 and some dollars for therapy because from 2022, which was a very rough year with the death of my life partner, and then the next person doing the whole discard thing. Uh, it was rough. It's very rough. So Rachel is uh, a very fundamentally strong individual and not a narcissistic bone in her body, for sure, objectively speaking. And it was interesting. It only took her one session because we're having some communication difficulties. And it only took her one session with my therapist to truly understand me. And my therapist broke it down really well to her. And, she said that Rachel, getting Dan to communicate on your emotional level is like trying to get a colorblind guy to see the color red. Like it's just not going to happen. So you need to adjust your expectations. And she was like, Dan, at the same time, you know, you need to not hit her with so much data and facts because she doesn't work like that. So I was like, all right, that makes sense. It was funny because at one point during that session, I started putting my own therapist hat on with Rachel because I was a therapist for 6 years and or a counselor and worked in the regional VA office. And my therapist was immediately like, Dan, take your hat off. I'm the therapist here. And I turned around, I looked at Rachel, and I was like, that's why she's my therapist. It took me years to find someone that would actually challenge me, not treat me like a colleague or like assume I know everything or something like that, because that is a problem that happens sometimes. And not just validate me, because there's a lot of therapists out there that just validate shit. That's not healthy, It's not healthy. You need to challenge your own self-limiting beliefs and get through that. So, pro tip for anyone building a house near the water: make the first floor your garage. That's what we did. It's fucking amazing. Um, Sorry, freaking amazing. Uh, it's 1,400 square foot garage. It's huge. You don't have to pay flood insurance. It's a really good way to go. Um, I'm going to put a gym down there. That's first priority, and then a woodworking and welding shop. So the gym is definitely the first thing that has to happen. Most of Rachel's stuff is down there, and it's taking up most of the garage space right now. So tell her take your time, like unpack it, and then we'll sell whatever we need to sell. So, um, yeah, gym is first priority, and then woodworking welding shop. I assume it's probably going to take me about 2 years to get everything the way I really want it, but construction is solid. Like what the builders did well, they did really well, so that's good. Um, Few quirks with the house, but nothing I can't fix, so that's always a good thing. And it's just growing pains for new construction. There is no such thing as a perfect home, so it is what it is. But uh, so Rachel and I are still considering visiting the Philippines this year, and that'll be good. Because I don't know, like eventually we could live in the Philippines for 6 months out of the year. I told her that. I was like, look, I can financially support you in the Philippines, no, your lifestyle, no problem. I was like, I have no problem paying the bills I would being single. So, rent or, the mortgage, food in your fridge, and all that stuff. Like, I'll never charge you a dime for that. Because, it'd be great for her to build up her own retirement and her own, uh, get her own house built. And she wants to open a restaurant eventually. So that would be good. So, yeah, I think it'll be a good thing because at the end of the day, partnerships, it's interesting because Harvard just came out with the results of their 85-year longitudinal study, and I think they're continuing this. And they've been studying, among other things, of what makes humans happy. And it turns out, surprise, surprise, that what makes humans happy throughout their lifetime and helps them live longer and all that stuff are good relationships. Not necessarily marriage, but like good partnerships, good friendships, like all of that stuff. Imagine that. Something I've been screaming at people for years. Like stuff doesn't matter. I was like, one of the things I learned in the military is that stuff does not matter. Only people matter. Like people are the only things that matter. Technology is going faster than anyone can keep up with it. Like at the end of the day, human relationships are what matters, and that's friendships, that's romantic partners, hopefully committed romantic partners. Because if they're not committed, it's just shallow, and there's really not a lot of point in going there. So. Um, Yeah, it's been an interesting year, a lot of personal growth. I wrote and published a 742-page book, which is volume one of the my Unlocking Life series, and I've already got enough information, I'm pretty sure, to write a second volume, so that's good. One thing I learned is that if you want to do a hardcover book, you don't want to go over about 550 pages. So future volumes will be, under 550 pages because it is a tome. So it's a lot of information, but and it's been good for me too because it is all research based, like hard peer reviewed research. So all the sources are cited. It's like 642 site sources for that book. Um, it's just it's really solid. Um, so that was an endeavor. That was it's amazing what you can accomplish when you write every day. And I also have 103 podcasts recorded this year, which is a lot of writing and a lot of recording um, on a bunch of different topics. So this past year, I focused a lot on relationships as well as some other stuff. I think I pretty much beat that to a pulp. I think I'm pretty much uh, got a handle on all of that stuff relationship wise. But um, yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. So now I'm focused on more stuff that I'm interested in. So can't wait for 2024. It's going to be a good year. Like I said, Rachel and I have grown very strong in the relationship, and I'm looking forward to the journey. So I hope you all out there have a good year, and yeah, have fun. Keep growing, keep being you. Don't let the haters hate. You know, people are going to hate, and whenever people hate, you just got to remember it's because they're not happy, and that's unfortunate, but that's the reality. So if you know you're doing objectively the right thing, then it is, you know, they can they can pound sand. So, and that's just the attitude you kind of got to take. Can't save people. That's another hard lesson I learned this year. You just can't. You can't save people from themselves. So, the military trained me how to save people from other people, but you can't save people from themselves. They're going to do what they're going to do. All you can do is give them the information, and if they heed it, great. And if they don't, that's on them. So, yep.